Welcome to Dance with Disease. My name is Ren. In 2016, my index finger started wiggling, which is great if you're training a dog, but I don't have a canine companion. And then the word Parkinsons came into my life. I knew from the beginning that this was not the downward spiral of doom as guaranteed by the brochures, but a kick in the ass to look at my life and change. This podcast is dedicated to sharing my magical journey of healing through trying every alternative therapy imaginable. Thanks for joining me. Let's dance.
Good morning, friends. It is June 13th. I'm back in action. We were on Salt Spring Island for a couple days at the Salt Spring Island Center for Yoga. Awesome. It's great to be around a community that is loving, dedicated to service. Pretty amazing. I'll say also that I have this really interesting thing going on right now that in my life I've got this handful of 70-year-old women that are loving, supportive, and wonderful. And I'm thinking, I was wondering what it was, and I think what it is at this point is that in order for me to let go, and they're all quite lovely, and I'm thinking at this point that they're here to support me in their motherly. There's a motherly energy for sure, but to give me the opportunity to let go of the expectations of my mother being motherly. Because that's not her style. She doesn't have that capacity. She doesn't want to have that capacity because she's shown it a couple times where she can be very compassionate and wonderful. But I think it's helped me in the transition. I think my mother is, well, who knows? My mother's so damn resilient, but her body is. She's getting worn out. And, yeah. So here's something. I'm doing all this dream work. The latest book that I'm reading is Conscious Dreaming by Robert Moss. And people talk about, and I'm not sure if it was in this book or the previous book, that you can go into your past and change it. And my initial thought was, it certainly resonates as plausible. Impossible. But there was an attachment to the past of the victim story that I carried of being abused as a child, like a strong attachment. And then I just let it percolate for a couple days, and I'm ready to let it go, which is really exciting because I think that, yeah, the victim narrative, I can't say whether it was, certainly can't say whether it was good or bad. It certainly caused me problems. It certainly, I can't think of any time where the victim narrative that I projected onto the world helped me. Maybe it did. It certainly must have had a purpose. But, yeah, I certainly don't think that it's helped me go and moving forward. I've lived that past. I've overlived that past multiple times before. I'm ready to move on. That's very exciting to be able to see that something that I had a pretty strong resistance to is now ready to be shed. Party on, dude. it's 6:31 a.m. And it's interesting to see, patience has been a theme for me. And it's interesting to see the fruits of desiring patience coming to fruition. Or, seeing or fruits coming to fruition, is that right? The fruits of the labor, of the effort towards developing, patience for this process. Yeah, interesting. It's a great life. I've got to go to the washroom. I'll see you.
Thank you for listening to the Dance with Disease podcast. My name is Ren. It's been a pleasure to have you here today. For more podcasts and the films, Dance with Disease, log on to YouTube, Ren the Artist. See you next time.